See, he looks nowhere near as tall, and he's got decent shoulders. Now, if you've got a wide-necked Scotty like this one, he looks a little thick in the neck if you look at him from the back. Again, if you use that structure and just leave this strip long and take this short, and especially all this short, you will put a neck on a dog. Because again, it's an illusion. Coming from the back. Now, the back of the leg, the pastern, where that funny little toe is. If that hair is really long on the back of the leg, like this is, when he moves, this will kick out. So to make the dog look like a good solid mover, because if what happens is the hair flips, again it's that illusion, it makes it look like the dog's arm is going like this when it moves. But if that hair is a nice tight post like your diagram, it's that long reach straight drive with the elbows that stay tucked and the shoulders that are backed and nothing going like this. Because usually when it's doing this, it's because it's hair, because that's what you see flipping out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this leg up. Now we trimmed it pretty tight, but I'm going to pull all the hair forward. And this I'm going to strip or use the thinning shears on to make it nice and tight. This boy is so miserable, I'm going to cut it, okay? But whenever you use scissors, only give it a couple snips and then cut and comb it, okay? Because you can make a hole really quickly, but if you snip and comb, if you think about the hairstylist at the salon when she's constantly combing your hair and then lifting it up with the comb and cutting it and combing it again and using, and that's exactly the same thing. If next time you go get your hair cut, watch her use the scissors and the combs together because you've got to see how the hair is falling. Putting layers in because we got a good front going on. Now the other thing you're going to have to do is you can strip here like we were doing, but there are also wings right here where those soft spots are. Okay? Because what you're going to do is you come down with the clippers, this hair right here sometimes gets ignored. And you're going to have to pull, again, this way. And it pulls it around, and it makes that nice, tight shoulder. Because if you really think about it, what you're doing is you're coming down. Let me lift him up for just a second, big man. I'll put it down. Remember, what you're doing is you're coming down to the corner, to the brisket, and then you take it and you come back. See how my fingers are telling me? Not even looking at to where I need to groom. My fingers are telling me where to groom it. And I come back. Look at that. I can still grab hair. I'm still grabbing it. Still needs to go shorter. It doesn't look it, but you do. If you can grab it, it needs to come off. On the front assembly, on the shoulders, the side of the neck, on the elbows, if you grab hair, it's too long. That's pretty much. And your fingers can tell you how to groom. And you don't have to remember which line is where or anything. Your fingers can tell you every time. Now, sometimes, if you seem to be pulling and pulling that and it's not making any headway, that's when this area might need to be raked. Or you say, boy, this is poofy here. But, I'm supposed to leave some furnishing because I'm supposed to have sort of that, I'm not supposed to be able to see between the front and the back legs. So maybe this area needs to be raked because the furnishings have fuzz too. Not just the back and the neck. But see, there's fuzz. And you've got to rake the furnishings, believe it or not, too. There's tons of fuzz in the furnishings. See, look at that. If you look at it, it's dull. It's not the healthy, shiny hair. See, you can see the difference. That's dead fuzz. And it just keeps coming out. But if you notice, I'm holding the knife flat. That's real important. A lot of us want to hold it. Now, if you strip with a knife, little tip, if you strip with a knife, you have got to have follow through on the hair. And what I mean by that is when you come out, you cannot bend and pull up. Because watch, let's see if I can find some long hair. When you bend and pull up, you cut it. You're not removing it from the hair follicle so a new one comes in. You have got to come straight back. And you got to check that hair and you got to say, are there little white things on the end? Yep, I didn't cut it. Those are hair follicles. You've got to come straight back. And you're going to have to do it slow before you get fast. You've got to check every time. Now, when you're working on a stone, it's the same concept. To use a stone, what I do is, if you think about, all this does is help your fingers. It makes it go faster. You take your forefinger and your index finger and your thumb, and you lift and you pick those out. But there's a lot to cover. So what you do, it's the same concept. You put the stone in your hand, and you lift and you pick. You don't stick the stone all the way back in your hand and go like this. You just keep it, and that's why we break these in half. You just put it on the ends of your fingers, and you lift it with your thumb, and it just is like chop, this finger, this is your moving finger, your thumb. It's going up and back, up and back, up and back. These fingers never move. Up and back, up and back. And the reason you go up is you are lifting the long hairs. You're finding the long hairs. See, look at you, see, long and short. You see them long and short sticking out there? Long and short. I just get the long ones. And see, the stone makes it go a lot faster. I could do it with my fingers, but I only get a dozen. It'd take all day. But I highly recommend before you pick up the stone that you understand the fundamentals of how to do it with your finger. You know, it's just like, ooh, picking at it. And that's what's picking the coat, because I'm picking at it. So then I put the stone in my hand to help me. See? Now, I personally do like a stone better than a knife to groom with. So when you get it all off, you'll have nice shoulders, low to the ground furnishings, because you've come down and around and up to the withers. So basically, this is your front assembly. And that's all short. You grab it, you can hold on to the hair, it's too long.